Hi, my name is Manjeet Kaur. Today I'm going to give presentation on the topic of STEM and inquiry-based learning and teaching strategies in STEM. When we think about STEM learning, usually different kinds of things come in our mind, like children playing with Legos or blocks, and they are using technology like iPads and computers. First of all, the introduction of STEM. The term STEM was introduced by scientific administrators at the US National Science Foundation NSF in the 21st century. According to Quigley and Harrow 2016, the term STEM is used to emphasize the interconnectedness of the disciplines of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Quang et al. 2016 state that every child should be exposed to STEM opportunities from a young age, engage in inquiry based learning with their classmates, and have the chance to solve real world challenges or problems. And I believe the reason for that one is that like introducing science or STEM content or STEM activities in early childhood help children to develop various kinds of skills that are beneficial for them in their future or in the long run. And now the meaning of STEM. STEM stands for science, engineering, technology, and mathematics. Science is the study of the physical and natural world through observations, experiments, and recordings. There are different branches of science like physics, chemistry, and biology. Technology is the use of scientific knowledge for practical purposes and application, whether in everyday lives or in different industries, like using simple technology or even like it might be simple or complex, it might be laptops or computers or even simple tools that we use in our gardens while doing gardening. So next one is engineering, which means using scientific understanding of the natural world to invent, design, and build things to solve problems and achieve practical goals, like roads or bridges. They are the example of engineering. And last one is mathematics, which is the study of quality, structure, space, change, and pattern. Sorting and measurement, they are also come under mathematics. And now the purpose of STEM in early childhood education. The main purpose of STEM in early childhood education is to develop the 21st century skills in children, which are the part and parcel of today's society. These 21st century skills are problem solving, inquiry, experimentation, investigating, creativity, listening, collaboration, and cooperation. And I think in the 21st century, every parent wants that their children have these qualities, because like if they have these skills or these qualities, then they can survive in the future. And the next purpose of STEM in early childhood education is to prepare children to transfer and adapt whatever they have learned from one context to another. Like, for example, whatever they are learning in the early childhood setting, they can transfer that knowledge to their everyday life, to their homes. For example, if they are learning about recycling at the early childhood center, they can share those practices with their parents at home, and they can also use those environmentally friendly practices at home as well. And Corallo mentions that STEM education assists societies in developing students with innovative mindsets. And finally, Quengley and Harrow 2016 state that STEM has significance for children's long-term academic performance, economic well-being, and community development. So it means STEM education is not beneficial only for children, but for the society and for the nation as well in the long run. So that's why it's important for nations to invest money on STEM education in early childhood. There are various kinds of teaching and learning strategies that educators can use to teach or to tell children about STEM concepts. First of all, they can use open ended questions, they can use modeling, demonstration, play based approach, inquiry based approach, or intentional teaching as well. Sometimes teachers use instructional teaching as well to teach STEM content, but it's not really common in early childhood. For example, if a teacher teaches children about science concept, like they are going to, a teacher wants to tell children about volcanic eruption, then I think it's important for a teacher to tell children like what might happen if he adds baking soda and vinegar together. So it's important, like if a teacher doesn't tell anything about this explosion to children, maybe children, when they put these both ingredients together, they might turn very close, or they might like that ingredients might be very close to their eyes, or that chemicals might spill in their eyes. So that's why it's important for teachers sometimes to use instructional teaching as well. There are various kinds of STEM activities which I categorized according to the areas or according to the disciplines. First of all, science activities like mixing colors, finding living things in garden, growing seeds, or showing children volcano eruption in sandpit, and showing children about or telling children about oil and plastic pollution. These activities link with science. Taking photos using cameras and iPads, or editing those photos using STEM apps, or doing gardening by using simple tools, these link with technology. And using blocks, Legos, or magnets to make towers and buildings, these come under engineering. And finally, mathematics, sorting shapes, quantity, measurement, and pattern. These activities are linked with mathematics. And now I'm going to talk about inquiry based learning. Inquiry based learning is an educational approach which emphasizes on investigation and problem solving. It is different from traditional approaches. If I talk about traditional approaches, like in the past, teachers used to present all the information to children, like they used to give answers for the children's questions without even giving them enough time to think about those questions on their own and explore and find out solutions for those problems or for those questions. But the main theme or the main focus of inquiry based learning is to encourage children to be active learners and think and learn deeply. Like the aim is to develop curiosity among children so that they can think about problems on their own, and after thinking about problems they can make efforts to find out solutions for those problems as well. According to Department of Education 2021, inquiry-based learning prioritize problems that require critical and creative thinking. So children can develop their abilities to ask questions, design investigations, and interpret evidence, form explanation and argument, and communicate findings. So now I'm gonna discuss four different activities. Like these activities will link with science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And the first activity is color mixing activity. So a color mixing activity is appropriate for toddlers and preschoolers. For toddlers, I think colorful water is not appropriate. So that's why teachers can use washable colors, and they can put those colors in color palettes and give those colors to children and allow them to mix different colors to get new shades or new colors. But for preschoolers, I think they can easily handle colorful water and it might attract them a lot. So educators can use different kinds of strategies when they like do these kinds of activities with children. First of all, they can ask them some open-ended questions to know whether they have any prior knowledge about color mixing, whether they already know, like if they mix red and green, what would happen. So if children know, that's good. Then educators can do something else to extend their learning, like they can introduce more colors to extend children's learning. But if children do not know about that, and it's important for teachers to allow children to mix different colors and find out what different shades they are getting after mixing different colors. So for this, they can also like educators can use instructional approach as well. They can give instructions in simple words, like try to use a little color or less amount of colored water, or add a bit more colored water, things like that. Or even they can demonstrate as well, because maybe when you do this activity for the very first time, teachers might sorry children might know how to use eyedroppers. So educators can demonstrate how to use those eyedroppers and how to use like put drops from glass or like bottles into the balls. So I think this activity will definitely help children to learn about science concepts like primary and secondary colors. It will be beneficial for children to learn about mathematical concepts as well, like less, more, much vocabulary related to mathematics. And it will develop children's critical thinking, creativity, and collaboration. And this activity will link with EYLF outcome 1. Children have a strong sense of identity as they will increasingly cooperate and work collaboratively with others. And it will link with EYLF outcome 4. Children are confident and involved learner as they are curious and enthusiastic participant in their learning. And this next activity is technology. Children using magnifying glasses to look for living beings that might be insects, worms, soil, and leaves. Educators can use open-ended questions to provoke like curiosity among them and to encourage them to start making more efforts. Like they can ask children like whether you find a living being or a non-living being, whether it's a small or a big. So these kinds of questions can encourage children to continue their exploration. And this activity will be beneficial for children's literacy development, critical thinking, and social skills and collaboration. And it will link with EYLF outcome 4. Children are confident and involved learners, like as they are curious and enthusiastic participant in their learning. The next activity is about engineering. Children playing with blocks and they are trying to make towers and castles. Educators can ask open-ended questions from children like what would happen if you make really very tall tower, and what would happen if the base of your tower is not strong. So these kinds of questions will definitely help children to explore more. They will think critically and they will try to make tall tower, and they will definitely try to discover now what's going to happen if the tower is very tall, and what would happen if they put only one block on the bottom and two or three on the top. So this will definitely extend their learning. And this activity will be beneficial for children's creativity, social skills, collaboration, fine motor skills, and cognitive skills. And it will link with EYLF outcome 1. Children have a strong sense of identity as like it because like they will increasingly cooperate and collaboratively work with other. And it will also link with EYLF outcome 4. Children are confident and involved learners as they are curious and enthusiastic participant in their learning. And they will also manipulate resources to investigate, take apart, assemble, invent, and construct. They might put blocks together, or they might put them away to discover what's going to happen. And last activity is about mathematics. So educators can give numbers to children and ask them to find number 1, 2, 3. But if they don't know about numbers yet, educators can ask them to separate numbers according to their colors, like according to their attribute. So educators can ask them open-ended questions. They can use encouragement, like if children separate all the yellow numbers, then educators can use good job, well done, these kinds of words, so that children can feel encouraged and they can continue this activity. And this activity will definitely be beneficial for their numeracy skills development, fine motor skills, and cognition. And it will link with EYLF outcome 5. Children are effective communicators as children begin to sort, categorize, organize, and compare collections and events and attribute of objects and material in their social and natural world. So now finally the conclusion. STEM education is vital in early childhood. It develops various skills in children such as creativity, critical thinking, problem solving, communication skills, and empathy. It is crucial to introduce STEM activities when children are young. Inquiry-based learning is the main part of STEM learning. Inquiry-based learning encourages children to find solutions for problems or take responsibility for their learning, and teachers act as mentors or facilitators rather than instructors, because mostly in our traditional approaches teachers are authoritative figures. So these are references here. And finally, if someone has any question, he or she can ask me. Thank you so much.